Today we will be looking at the Japanese maple, Acer palmatum. The Japanese maple belongs to the Sapindaceae family. It's diverse in its growth forms and includes upright, weeping, dwarf, mounding, and cascading varieties, and can be anywhere from 2 to well over 30 feet tall depending upon the cultivar. Native to Japan, China, and Korea, they typically grow in the understory of forests, meaning that they are found in shaded areas beneath larger trees. But in the United States, they are hardy in growing seasons zone through 5. They prefer organically rich and well-drained soil that is slightly acidic, needing consistent moisture but not waterlogged conditions. In their native habitat and hotter climates, they require shelter from harsh afternoon sun, preferring partial shade and dappled light. Some sun-tolerant varieties can handle full sun, especially in cooler regions. Japanese maple leaf arrangement refers to the distinct patterns and forms of their foliage, primarily categorized as either palmate or upright leaves, which are simple, starred shapes, as we see here, that have 5 to 9 lobes. They can also be a lacy, weeping variety form with finely dissected and delicate pendulous leaves. The leaf arrangement can also describe whether the leaves grow opposite each other on the stem, a common trait in many Japanese maples. The maple leaf types are primarily categorized into 3 broadleaf forms: the palmatum, dissectum, or the star-shaped maple leaf. These forms can also be distinguished by their size and the number of lobes. They come in a variety of colors: red, green, purple, orange, and even variegated patterns. Now let's talk about the buds of the Japanese maple. I brought a visual aid because the buds are typically seen in early spring, so there aren't any for us to look at today. But the buds will typically be either red or green. These are a red variety, and they are scaled. Typically they will have at least 3 scales, and they're a very pointed bud, typically seen in clusters of 2 or 3 on the Japanese maple. Now we'll take a look at the bark of the Japanese maple. Many varieties are prized for their very unique, brightly colored bark. They will be sometimes a deep yellow or a very rich orange, and will have a scaly or almost lifted appearance to the bark. But the variety that we see here, which is common in the southeast, particularly in landscaping, will have typical maple bark, which is a smooth light gray. Now let's take a look at the flowers of the Japanese maple. Typically they're born in small clusters, and they're generally a reddish or purple coloration. They're not particularly showy, but they are attractive up close, and they come in the spring before going into leaf, as you will see here. They develop on new growth on the branches from the previous year, and there is a fair amount of variability based on the cultivar, some producing larger and more noticeable flowers, but the small buds here are what's most typical. The fruit is a double-winged samara or seed pod, which I don't have a photo of here, but they have almost like the airplane appearance that you see on some trees that are like a wing with a seed pod in the end, and those ripen and are released in the late summer and early fall, but there are not any on this particular tree here that we are looking at today. In closing today, let's recap some of the distinguishing traits of the Japanese maple. Typically, one of the most distinguishing traits is the variety of cultivars. We can have the weeping, the mounded, and also the dwarf varieties, as well as this variety that you will typically see in landscaping. There are even some very small varieties that you will see in bonsai form. Also, the brilliant fall foliage, which can be anything from a deep, vibrant red to orange to a bright yellow, is another typical distinguishing characteristic of the Japanese maple. So I hope that this has been helpful today and will assist you in being able to identify the Japanese maple when you are out and about. Thank you.